I've got some real talk that I really want to share with you. True heart-to-heart talk. So it is so common for me to hear this phrase, I am stressed. Today was so stressful. I feel so overwhelmed. I love to share with people, and I love to hear people, and I really love to connect with people. So I love to ask a simple question. How do you support yourself in the stress? Your body's experiencing stress, your mind's experiencing stress. How do you support yourself? And oftentimes the answer is, I have more coffee because I've been tired. Maybe I go out to eat more. Maybe I Uber Eats. Maybe I have a glass of wine 2 or 3 at night. Those cookies in the afternoon, they really help me deal with my stress. And in the moment, I'm sure it's probably true. When it comes to the healing process, the idea is when we don't like how we feel, we learn to surrender to it. And this is quite the process. I don't expect you to grab this in this little conversation we're about to have. But when we don't like how we feel, the idea is typically we push away from it. We don't normally stop, breathe, and let it really connect in to see how we organically feel. We don't like feeling bad, of course. So we've learned to adapt our life and our habits based on trying to feel good. But it's oftentimes missing the puzzle. So people will come to me, and I work with people from all over the world, and say, I've got this health condition. I don't know how to crack it. I just don't feel good. I don't know what's going on. And a lot of times we just start talking about stress and how they manage their stress. Imagine if we surrendered to the stress and we really allow ourselves to feel a connection, and we allow ourselves to really hear and support the fact that, wow, I'm feeling really, really stressed. Taking a big deep breath. What does it feel like to give yourself permission to really connect in and to really allow yourself to feel the stress? Have you thought about that? So much of our life, we've learned to manage our stress, but not given ourselves permission to really feel what it feels like to feel the stress that we're feeling. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. So I want you to think of something that's really stressing you or has really stressed you in the past. And I want you to think about the fact and give yourself a huge high five for making it through it, the stressful time. We're so resilient. But I really want you to think about something on a whole different level. There's you and how you've learned to process stress. You've been in therapy, you've been watching movies or books, or you've gone to weekend getaways, and you've learned to be able to experience stress in a different way, right? You've learned to manage it in a different way. I'm going to ask you for a second to just give yourself permission to stop and really feel the stress in your body. Feel it. How do you do that? Just close your eyes and just breathe in through the nose slowly and deeply. Exhaling out through the mouth slowly and deeply. And you say to yourself, I give myself permission to really feel what it feels like to feel this stress. Breathe in through the nose slowly and deeply. Exhale out through the mouth slowly and deeply. Think about whatever it is that's stressing you. I want you to feel it in your shoulders. I want you to feel it in your chest. I want you to just see what you feel in your body. You're going to probably notice maybe discomfort or inflammation or pain, tightness sometimes. And just take another big deep breath in through the nose and slowly and deeply exhale out through the mouth. Acknowledging how the body is feeling with the pain. How the body is feeling with the stress. How the body is feeling with the inflammation. And when you feel like you've connected to that, I just want you to tell yourself thank you for connecting and thank you for expressing how you're actually experiencing the stress on a physical level. So that feeling is what we're trying to avoid a lot of the time because it's just uncomfortable. It's kind of like a really full trash can. It's really uncomfortable. It's like inside. So we've learned things like, let me just breathe and relax. That works. When you breathe and mindfully connect to your body, it works at a whole different level. And I want you to really be mindful of when you're sharing that statement, I'm stressed. How are you doing? It was so stressful today. That's a huge alert when it comes to medical intuitive work that you have some opportunities in front of you to be able to heal. You might not think of it like that because I think we've learned so often to kind of focus on the positive, right? And even in the healing process and spiritual world that a lot of us are in, you learn to default to gratitude. You learn to default to the positive, which is beautiful. as long as we're integrating the actual organic experience that we're living in our day-to-day life. So the next time you focus on and you're sharing that you're stressed and you've had a stressful day, I want you just to take a few moments to close your eyes and tune in. Give yourself permission to really acknowledge how your physical body is holding on to the stress, and slowly and deeply exhale it out. Now you can switch it up another level. You can breathe in relaxation and positive energy, and you can exhale out tension and stress and feel the physical body literally let go of tension and stress. It's very powerful when we do mindful, connected work with ourselves. The reason I wanted to sit and share with you is it's so common to just use the I am stressed statement as a way of connecting to other people, when in fact stress is an opportunity for us to connect more with ourselves. Imagine if stress is an opportunity to tune back in. Imagine that we're maybe losing ourselves in the moment and we don't even realize it. Imagine that we have answers that we're not even aware of because we're so stressed. We're wanting it to do it right. We're just on autopilot. Life is just... Maybe our bodies are asking us to remember that we have only so many moments in this world. We're only going to be alive for so many days, and maybe we're forgetting to enjoy a lot of it. Have you ever thought about that? What happens though is a lot of people get tired because when you're focused on stress a lot of the time and worry and anxiety, it's exhausting to the physical body. So we wake up and it feels like we haven't slept at all and we're exhausted and we're like, fuck, okay, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to go get a highly caffeinated cup of coffee and tea right? Well, that's fine. No judgment. Enjoy the cup of tea or enjoy the cup of coffee. But I want you to keep it back in the mind that you just rested all night long and the body probably should be rested. And if it's not, there's a reason for it. And we've gotten to these mindless habits of, I'm tired, so I'm just going to fix it with a cup of coffee. And then we go through the day and we're not really eating well. We might have a bagel, we might have, this or that, whatever's just hanging out. We might randomly have food that somebody gives to us, but we might not have that mindful connection of food, which is just adding another level of what we're calling stress. Like, where do you matter? Where are you feeling like you're a priority? That's ultimately what we're going to be connecting to. So the idea is by the end of the day, a lot of us are hangry. A lot of us haven't eaten at all. A lot of us have just lived on coffee. A lot of us have just lived on carbohydrates and processed foods and wonder why we're feeling like irritated, kind of exhausted, just mentally foggy and not feeling good. And now this is our life and we've been doing this for periods of time. And we come home saying, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed. We open the door and we're not even smiling at our spouse because we're just so stressed. Go and grab a glass of wine and all of a sudden, now I can relax. Actually, I can put a Band-Aid on the stress that I'm feeling. So I want you to take a big deep breath, and you're watching this for a reason. And the reason is that you deserve to give yourself a gift of being present and listening to yourself. When we're feeling stressed, there's a reason for it. And we want to learn how to pay attention to that. We want to understand how to navigate through stress in a more graceful way so that we can experience more joy and overall happiness in our life, more fulfillment, more success. If we're always stressed, it's very hard to have true connections with people. We might end up feeling depressed and alone. So, the next time you're feeling stressed, I want you to remember this conversation. The next time you feel like you've had a stressful day, I want you to take a few moments before grabbing that glass of wine. And I want you to just close your eyes and tune in, 10, 15 slow, big, deep breaths, asking your body how it's holding on to the stress. Not it's just stressful. Your body is holding on to the stress. And it oftentimes accumulates in the shoulders for people, in the eyes for people, in the head, in the neck, in the gut. It's holding on to stress. And when you breathe in relaxation and you exhale stress and tension, it's able to start releasing some of the stress that it's holding on to. As you do this, you're going to notice that you feel better. You're going to notice that you feel more connected and that you might actually want to make some changes in your life because you might not have realized up until now how stressed you actually are. So I want you to just remember that statement, I am stressed. Today was a stressful day. And the more that you say that, the more I want you to be curious and stop and breathe and tune in to how your physical body is dealing with stress. As you do that, your inflammation will decrease As you do that, your joy will increase. As you do that, different options are going to come to your mind. As you do that, you're going to start to think in a different way. So that when you wake up in the morning, you're feeling refreshed. When you wake up in the morning, you don't need the coffee to jack you up first thing in the morning, and you tend to head toward more of a nutrient dense type drink, like a smoothie with lots of greens and protein and oil, or maybe a glass of warm lemon water to help flush out your system. But the idea is that we don't have to constantly adapt to stress. Let's honor the stress, let's honor our experience, and allow ourselves to really pay attention to how things are affecting us. Because when we're always living in a state of stress, we don't get to enjoy the state of life and joy that's right in front of us. We're distracted, we're disconnected, we're anxious, we're angry, we're disheartened, we're depressed. This is time, that time, right now, to make a change. So instead of telling yourself you're stressed, tune into the body. See how you're feeling with the stress. Breathing in relaxation, exhaling out stress and tension. And remember to acknowledge your body. Allow yourself to say thank you for the transition and the connection that it's offering you. To shift from stress to connection. To shift from overwhelm to relaxation. Just by giving yourself the awareness that you don't have to stay in an ultra stressed state. You can choose to, but it's a conscious choice. So if you want to say, I chose to be really stressed all day long, that's more accurate than I'm stressed. I chose to be stressed all day long. Well, when you start thinking like that, you're going to start then thinking, why would I choose that? There's a whole different way of thinking. You just might not know how to create it. You might not know how to live your life in a way that's more in harmony and integrity with your body, with your mind, and with your spirit. That's what stress is. It's knock, knock, knock. Let's get in integrity. Knock, knock, knock. Let's pay attention to what's really important. Knock, knock, knock. We only have so many days here to enjoy our life. How cool is that? Just to be reminded, you're not going to be here forever. How can you learn to honor the stress that you're feeling so that the body doesn't build it up and create health conditions like constipation, like anxiety, like heart problems, like blood pressure? So much of that comes from what they call stress. Reduce the stress by tuning in and paying attention to how the body's holding on to stress, and then paying attention to how you can eat, your lifestyle, and how you can reduce the stress. As we allow ourselves to honor our experience, amazing, powerful healing is bound to happen. And you are worthy of that. You are worthy of feeling relaxed and joyful and creative and excited when you wake up in a day. So powerful, so powerful. And you deserve to have that. So the next time those words come from your lips, I am stressed, take a breath, acknowledge how stressed you really are, where your body's holding on to the stress, and then work with mindful breathing in relaxation, exhaling out stress and tension. The more that you keep being aware of how stressed you are, it's time to make a change. It's time to make a change. In order to heal, we need to change. We oftentimes expect changes to happen, but we're not changing. That's maddening. That's maddening. In order to have a different experience, we must change. It's very simple and it's very profound, and it will change your entire life. I am so honored to be here to support you.